So coming into King Hall, one of the first things I remember hearing was about how as a community, we're more laid back. We're not as cutthroat as some of the other law schools. There's probably some truth to that, but there's just no denying. As a group, we are still a pretty competitive bunch. Now, there's a lot of anecdotes I can think of that drive that point home, and none better than the time that a group of us tried to start an intramural flag football team during our 1L year. So we assembled a group of people that we thought were going to be fairly competitive. We didn't expect to do great, but we expected to definitely win a few games. What we hadn't considered at the time was that our best athlete was a guy by the name of Chris Magana, who we all know is a very good athlete, but he's also barely 5 feet tall, and if he's not 40 years old already, he's going to be very soon. So, not exactly your best formula for success there. Anyway, our first game, we're stretching out, and we're playing a bunch of college freshmen. And one of the kids doesn't look a day or sound a day over 13. Don't know how he's even in college yet. He comes up and he starts scouting us, and kind of looks in amazement, and reports back to his team that, and it's a direct quote, "Guys, we're playing a bunch of real men today." So this, of course, increases our confidence level even more. And then, of course, 10 minutes later, we're down 4 touchdowns. That same kid scored 2 touchdowns off us. And 5 weeks later, we're 0-5. We're going into our last game, and we're playing the best team in the league, 5-0 team that hasn't even been touched all year. So we know we're not going to win the game. But what does a good law student do when he encounters a problem? He consults the statute. He finds a way around it. And so that's what we did. We went and we looked at the intramural rule book. And we found that sure enough, the home team, which we were for the last game, gets to choose the color of shirts that they wear for the game. Now we knew the team we were playing was a fraternity that always wore yellow shirts. So you can kind of see where this is going. We ended up as a team buying a whole bunch of yellow shirts in hopes that we might get them to forfeit. And sure enough, as the opening whistle sounded, we all had our sweaters on, and we lifted up our sweaters to reveal our shirts. And the other team didn't know what was going on. How are they going to know that a team is going to scheme like that to win an IM football game? But the refs kind of saw this problem, and sure enough, they consult the rule book, and they say, well, if you guys don't come up with new shirts, you're going to have to forfeit the game. And now they're panicking and begging the refs to let them play with their skins. And one of them calls their girlfriends to get a bunch of white t-shirts. And the refs do give in and let them play in skins. So it's like 30 degrees outside, and they got all their shirts off. They played the entire first quarter like that, and then their girlfriends bought them their white shirts. So our plan was pretty much foiled. We rattled them a little bit. We were winning actually most of the game, believe it or not, and we lost at the last second. But that just kind of goes to show you the kind of things that King's Hall students will do to succeed at anything, including trying to win an IM football